So the other day, I heard this term, which I hadn't heard for a while, called skin in the game, and it got me thinking about a few things. See, it got me thinking about what motivates me to actually succeed in business. And while I'm having this car washed, I thought I'd have a bit of a chat to you about it. So what happened was I was talking to this sales coach. He was referred to me by a colleague who has had great success with him, and he's done amazing things for her. So I was talking to him, and being a great sales coach, after 90 minutes of chatting to me on the phone, he wore me down, won me over, and convinced me to sign up to his program, which was quite an expensive concept. But he promised me, great things. He was going to make all my dreams come true. I was going to earn an extra $500,000 to $1 million in a year. I was going to make back the expense in a month, and it was all sounding good. And about 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I couldn't get back to sleep. I'm thinking, I can't afford what it was going to cost me to go down this path. And I was also questioning just if it was the right strategy for me. And then what I did was I was also thinking about another colleague, a friend that I had, who also does sales coaching, or he's an expert in sales, and he's an authority on the subject. And I know him quite well. Actually, I've got a lot of time for him, a lot of respect for him, and I thought, I wonder if he'd be able to help me, because I'd rather give my money to somebody that I already know and I've got a relationship with that I like. And then at about 5 o'clock in the morning, while I was still awake, I thought, I wonder if he'd be interested in having an accountability buddy, because, I do like the guy. It'd be a great opportunity to help. If I could help him grow his business, that'd be a real privilege for me. So the next morning I spoke to him, and he said, absolutely, he'd love to do that. So I thought, well, there's a great outcome. So I rang the guy back. I spoke to the guy, the original sales coach, and explained to him, listen, thanks, but no thanks. It's not quite the right fit for me. And then eventually, he was a great salesman. He didn't want to lose the sale, so he was, trying to justify all the reasons why I should stick with him, which, is what a sales guy does. But one of the terms he used, when I explained to him that I was doing this deal where I was going to help my friend and he was going to help me, he was trying to justify it by saying, well, you've got to have skin in the game. And what he meant was, I've got to pay him a lot of money. My car's getting a lot cleaner. And, which obviously works for him, paying him a lot of money, but his logic was, you've got skin in the game if you've gone and paid these thousands and thousands of dollars every month to him, then I'm going to be committed to making sure I get the value from it. Now, if that worked, I'd be a lot fitter and a lot stronger and a lot healthier than I am now from my gym memberships. Unfortunately, I know that paying money to the gym doesn't necessarily make me go. It's just a sad fact of my makeup. That's who I am. But I also thought about, well, what does motivate me? And I realized, actually, being accountable to my friend by making an agreement and talking to him about what my goals were and what I was going to do and actually getting that done, that's what's going to motivate me. That's where my skin is in the game. And I guess it's different for everybody. So another motivator might be a reward you're going to get at the end of the day. Obviously, the end goal of what you're trying to achieve is motivating, but sometimes you need a little bit of extra push to keep going along the path when it does get challenging. And I had a business coach a few years back, Roland, who came up with some great goals we could aim for over 6 months. And he said, how does that feel if you got all those goals done? I said, yeah, it'd be great. He said, well, out of 10. I said, it's about an 8 out of 10 or so. I've got to go. Hold on, got to keep driving. So Roland said, well, how can we make it a 10? And he said, what kind of reward could we give you that's actually going to motivate you to, get you there? And I said, oh, geez. And I said, you know what? I've always dreamed of riding a motorbike up the Pacific Highway up to my brother's farm up near the Queensland border. And he said, great. Have you got a motorbike? I said, well, no. He said, do you know how to ride a motorbike? Well, no. He said, okay, do you want to? I said, yeah, let's do that. So we added learning how to ride and getting a motorbike part of my strategy for my 6 months goals. And we nailed it. We got them all. And when I was riding up the Pacific Highway 6 months later and the rain was pouring down, I was getting soaked, I had a huge grin on my face for the reward of, getting there, knowing that this was the culmination of a whole lot of training and coaching and success that had happened. So for me, it's a combination of different things. And I guess what I wanted to propose to you is, what's your skin in the game? I guess for most people, it's either the loss of something or the gain of something, the reward or a loss of it. Loss of money, or, loss of face, or, a reward that you're going to gain as an outcome from it. So what's your skin in the game? What motivates you? let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Put in the comments down below. Have a great day.